So we're talking about scopes don't have to be perfect. And if you saw my first one, you would have seen that it was a perfect example of a mommy moment. Yes, I do follow Jilly Sue. Jilly Sue was in my first one. I don't know if she's in here again. So you guys should share and see if she comes in. Look, it must be a better connection. I now have 18 people. So yay. So we're talking about how your scopes don't have to be perfect. Things will happen. Oh, good. I'll be following. Don't do it at 7 o'clock, though. I have a scope I have to watch at 7. But here's a good example. I just knocked something over. There's not going to be a perfect moment to do your scopes, guys. You cannot make them perfect. And honestly, they're better if they're not perfect. Your son had a fit at the end of yours. Yeah, and that's going to happen. And you know, here, I had a discussion with some people about the whole mommy thing. And I was like, I tell people that I have kids. My kids are going to come into my scopes. They're going to be noisy. They're going to be fighting. They're going to be yelling. There's going to be video games in the background. There's going to be cartoons in the background. So there's going to be stuff going on in the background because that is how my life is right now. And I learned that lesson from YouTube. So when I first started on YouTube years ago, I kept trying to make my YouTubes perfect. And then last year when I decided to start on YouTube again, I was like, you know what? I am not going to do the perfect thing. I'm going to try doing the vlogging thing where it was more real life, more, you know, just us. And I was like, my goal is not to make them perfect. I'm not going to have perfect sound all the time. I'm not going to have that perfect sit down and talk to you. I mean, even right now, my neighbors are coming in and out of their house because I turned on a scope. It's going to happen. So my thing is, don't let the excuses. I haven't either, Sandra. I've totally, my poor YouTube channel. Robert C. Stern, if he's still in here, you should follow him. He has some great tips. And the other day he gave an awesome tip on how to start feeding your periscopes into YouTube, and it was an awesome tip. And Kayvon, one of the founders of Periscope, said, that's life, yes, said that they are going to be adding horizontal to Periscope, and then it's going to even be better for feeding into YouTube. Hi, Michelle. So you need to don't use sound as an excuse. Don't have excuses for not periscoping. Figure out how you can make it work for yourself. And my other one is, don't think that you have to look perfect. Honestly, I just threw this headband on. It doesn't match anything else I'm wearing. And my hair has been windy in the wind. It's greasy. Honestly, it is really greasy. I have roots going on. I could totally nitpick myself down to yeah, thank you, Michelle. See, and you guys will say, yeah, I look great, but you know, your brain is going to see all these little things that nobody else is seeing. Even, honestly, your connection isn't going to show it as well to them as it does to you. Yes, I watch for content, not how they look. Exactly, Michelle. I think those are traps that we're putting in our own head that are stopping us from scoping. You know, it's going to be noisy in my house. It's going to, I don't look good enough today. My house isn't clean. There's another mommy one that all the mommies fall into, right? My house isn't clean, so I can't periscope. Honestly, just find a little niche that you can sit down. Just find the right angle. No one will know. No one will know that your house is a mess. My house is a disaster half of the time. I am a working mom, and my goal is not to clean. Hello, Mia. My goal is not to clean. My goal is to spend time with my kids. And if my house isn't perfect, I will live with it because I want to spend that time with my kids. It's incredibly important to me. More important than my house being perfect, especially for scopes. So if your house is dirty, honestly, just find a little spot and just have the right angle. Do you guys realize that half of the time I scope in my office, and that's actually my kids' playroom, that they never clean? And it looks beautiful behind me because I have it angled just right so that I have a curtain hiding everything. So don't use that excuse. Do not use that my house doesn't look good excuse. You do not even have to have a perfect background because people don't care about your background. They just want to hear you. They want to connect with you. And honestly, if they see your messy house, they may feel like they're more connected to you because 80% of people don't have perfect houses. The other 20% have OCD. So, you know, if you don't have a perfect house and you happen to show it, hey, it's them. Well, they will actually be like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm not the only one. And that's the same thing with the kids in the background. One of my goals through the years has been to learn to accept that I don't have to be perfect on camera. I don't have to be perfect on video or on photos because I'm not perfect, right? I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one is perfect. And yes, exactly. Michelle is totally hitting it. You need to not listen to those voices in your head that say that you can obtain perfection. That's the only thing that's stopping you from doing these scopes. And so the other thing that I would tell you that I've learned from YouTube is just get on there and start doing it. And if you look back, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I looked terrible. I sounded terrible. Just learn from you. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. When I first started on YouTube, I was incredibly self-conscious. I know a lot of people have been saying that they're very uncomfortable with scoping because they're self-conscious, and I don't know if you can tell, but I used to be incredibly self-conscious, and now I'm not as self-conscious. Like, I'm actually scoping with people walking in front of my house right now, and that's like so different, guys. Be your authentic self. People will love you. Yes. And what you're going to learn, the more you scope, the more comfortable you're going to be, and then the more real you'll be too. Don't make a script. Don't make a script. Just have a little post-it that has a few little bullet notes, because honestly, you'll start and everything will start flowing, and the only thing that this will help you with is when you get off on a wrong tangent. If you start reading the comments too much and you're like, oh, where was I? Don't make a script. People want to hear from you. They want to hear your heart, and you need to let it come out of your heart. And so I'm hoping that this will encourage some of the people that I've been following that I see in the comments all the time watching. And I see every so often they'll be like, I haven't done my first one. I'm uncomfortable. I'm scared. I'm self-conscious. Don't be self-conscious. Don't be self-conscious. And if you need to get on a scope, do it privately with some people. Mommy Scopes, I hashtag them. They have a group that they're happy to do private scopes with you and like talk to you. And some of those women are so amazing. Same thing with Peri Girls. I have a Periscope that glitch that is definitely always Periscope dying. And you can tell because it just crashes. Bang. Hey, bling bling. So I'll let some people come in, and then while they're coming in, I'm going to reiterate what I said on the first part of the scope, which was basically scopes don't have to be perfect. Don't listen to the excuses that are coming from your head because they are just in your head. Most people don't notice the things that you're thinking through. And so the excuses that I talked about were how you look. You know what? Don't worry about how you look because most people won't notice the little things that you're seeing that are driving you crazy that make you feel very self-conscious. The second excuse I talked about was how your house looks. Don't be stressed about that. Just find a little niche somewhere. And if they happen to see your dirty house, honestly, they're going to think it's more authentic because they probably have a dirty house too. And then the third one was noise. I am a mom. I'm going to have noise in the background. And one of the things I will say further on the noise thing is I address it. So if there's noise going on, I talk about it. I say, hey guys, yeah. You think too hard on things. Yeah, you know what, Jess, sometimes, especially starting out, I would just start out doing, hey, let's talk, let's chat kind of scopes. Oh, and I thought of another one that I wanted to talk about too. So just have a notepad or a note taker on your phone and just start writing out ideas for scopes. Think about your day. Think about, the things that you do every day. Think about the problems that you have and you need solutions to, or the problems that your friends have and you want to give them solutions. Oh, don't want to be going on and on about nothing. Honestly, there's some people that just go on and on about nothing. You'd be surprised. And honestly, we watch them. We're like, it's like, I don't know. It's something about it. You just kind of keep watching them. So one of the tips that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the first scope was also, don't let the fact that that number over there is small stop you. Don't let that there's no hearts coming up stop you. Half the time it's not accurate. It may be your connection, and you'll probably get people to watch the replay. And you know what? It takes practice and connecting to be able to be able to talk on here. In the very beginning, you may ramble a bit, but you're going to get better and better at it, and you're going to find how to not ramble. You're going to figure out how to have a conversation, how to talk to the people in the chat while making your point. Those are things that you're going to learn through the process of doing it. If you keep using those as excuses of not doing it, then you're not going to get any better. So just keep doing it, just keep doing it, just keep doing it. And if you haven't done it yet, just do it. I promise you'll love it and you'll be addicted. So, that don't let that number scare you, bother you. Half the time I go in and I find that I actually had instead of the 8 that it says right there, I probably had about 25 people in there. If I didn't have very many comments, maybe it was just because my connection was bad. Maybe I didn't get very many hearts. That's okay. I can get them on the replay. And what you've gained from that scope is you've gotten to learn that maybe that topic wasn't a great topic. Maybe that time of day was not a good time of day. And then you can test a different time of day. Maybe you've learned that there is a connection problem in your house with your internet. You learn from the process. Learn what's not working and work on how can you make it better. So, definitely don't think that the scopes that only have 2 people in it were not worth it. There's still the replay. There's still that you got the practice. And you learned something you learned something around. I did one once. I was like, I only had 2 people. I was like, oh. And then I was like, you know what? Something was wrong. What was wrong? Was it with my internet? Was it the time of day? I'm pretty sure it was the time of day. Some reason that I had a bad time of day. My next one, I had 100 people in it. I went from 2 to 100. How does that happen? It'll just happen. So, and I have people dinging me right now, so that's probably killing my internet and probably freezing me. So, sorry guys. So, don't let that number stop you. Don't let the lack of hearts stop you. Don't let the non-perfect house stop you. Don't let the no makeup, the my hair's a mess, the I have crooked teeth, I look terrible stop you. That is all in your head. Don't let the I have kids and it's noisy and it's crazy and I it's just not, nobody's going to want to watch that. Honestly, the people that you probably want to connect with, other moms, will watch that. So don't let those things stop you. Your scopes do not have to be perfect. You are not perfect. And that's the great thing about Periscope is it's authentic, it's real, and perfection will only make people not want to connect with you, honestly. perfection sometimes is actually harder for people to watch. The kids in the noise, is it Liana? You know what? Just do it. If it drives some people crazy, then they're not the audience for you. They're not the audience for you. You want moms probably who are used to it and can handle it and are watching you and thinking, oh, thank God, it's not just my kids. Oh my gosh, that woman is dealing with the same thing I am dealing with. And then, honestly, you might give somebody hope that needs it that moment, thinking, okay, my life is not abnormal. My life is normal. And I have kids that are normal. So, and now you guys are going to make me tear up. So I just wanted to put this out there because I was thinking about it today with my funky windy scopes that was just sharing how my family is. And I hope that you guys will share it. I want to give you a few seconds. I really want you to share it so that other people can see about not being perfect and just scoping. Just scope. So they can watch the replay, and you can follow me on Unicorn Beauty for the other replay also if you missed that one. And tonight is Past the Cast with Perry Girls, and then Mommy Scopes tonight. Polka Dot Wishes is going to be talking about more about not being perfect in scopes and women tearing each other down and things like that. So that is going to be amazing. So I hope that you will watch that. She comes on at 7 o'clock Pacific time, I believe. And now I get to go and put my kids to sleep. Well, actually it's a little early for that, but I wish I could. I'm going to go spend some time with them before I start watching some more Periscopes. So thank you for joining me, guys, and thank you for the hearts, and thank you for sharing. And if you have any questions about Periscope, or if you need someone to scope with you on a private, Mommy Scopes is on a Facebook group. It's Facebook groups / Mommy Scopes, and you want to make sure that you put the S on the end. So definitely connect with them. And what I was going to say is, if you want to do like a personal private scope with me, feel free and tweet me first, because for some reason Android I don't get the notifications. So, okay guys, have a good evening. Hope you have an amazing evening.